Now, why was the Michigan Education Association so supportive?
Um, I I think part of the reason they were so supportive is that they were interested in having a provision in the in a new constitution where the state would underwrite the pension retirement benefits or something along that line.
Because that was not done before.
That was not done before.
Did the Constitution Convention do that?
Yes.
So so you were right at home on that issue.
Uh-huh.
Now, tell us more about that. You talked about the meeting at St. Mary's camp.
Yes.
What was that, and who called it?
St. Mary's camp is this is a summer camp for the MEA. It's very similar to what numerous big corporations have. A summer retreat. For example, the UAW has a summer camp up near Alpena.
Yeah, Black Lake.
Black Lake.
Yeah.
I think this camp to the MEA is what Black Lake was to the Union.
Now, how many were at the Black Lake when you went there? At their conference?
Maybe 100 or 200 people.
And that was the backbone of getting the petitions.
Yes, that's right.
Well, that's amazing, because getting petitions signed.
It was enormously successful.
So you would say the main thing for getting petitions signed was the MEA,
yes.
And that was Ed Cushman's idea to go to them.
Yes.
And they were concerned about their pensions.
I think there probably were other things that the MEA wanted, but I didn't know it at the time, or still don't. I think a lot of it was an interest in government. I don't think it was all selfish. I think part of it was just good citizenship.
And teachers would be a group that would be expected to do that.
Right.
Yeah. Were there any particular officers you remember that worked on this, or was it their whole organization?
The whole organization worked on it.
Yeah. And their headquarters is in East Lansing, is that right?
That's right.
The MEA. But the camp was at St. Mary's Lake.
Right.
All right. Now, after that, you got the signatures. Then there was a vote on whether or not to hold ConCon. Do you remember what the vote was, or what group supported it?
The vote was very close.
Yeah.
Well, you mean the vote on the new Constitution?
No.
No, the vote.
To hold.
My memory. I haven't looked it up, Tom. So long, I can't answer you.
We'll let somebody else look that up. You were active in other public activities. What was your role in the Michigan Municipal League?
I was on the board of directors for 3 or 4 years, and then was nominated to become president of the Michigan Municipal League, which is the league of all cities in Michigan. And I was elected in 1958 and served in 58 and a bit of 1959. And in that capacity, I came to know the fiscal problems of many of the cities in Michigan, and also the related problems.
That would be a good stepping stone for your role in the Citizens for Michigan.
Yes, I think it was an excellent one. Another thing I remember, it just so happened that was the year of the Payless Paydays, when government supposedly stopped in Michigan, and Soapy Williams was the governor.
I was the one that advised against that, for your information.
You gave him good advice.
Well, sometimes people don't listen to me any more than my kids do. Judge, I guess you're familiar with that. Now, how much did it pay being as a Michigan Municipal League?
How much does it pay?
Yes.
Nothing.
Well, now you had
Nothing at all.
You had all these free jobs. Did you get time to practice law, or how did you make a living?
I practiced law, and I sometimes felt sorry for my clients. It was hard going, but with the help of my wife and two other members of my little firm of Crum, Allen, and Mullen, I managed to squeak through.
There were only 3 members of the firm?
There were only 3 members of the firm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's amazing. I'd say there's a lot of pro bono work you did.
And after I came with George Romney, one of the 2 remaining partners, Mullen, became a circuit judge in Kalamazoo County and did it very successfully.
Yeah.
C.H. Mullen, he died a week ago, and I was at his funeral in Kalamazoo last Thursday.
Yeah. So you had a close connection there within your firm.
Yes.
Now let's talk a little bit more about CONCON. What committees were you on in CONCON?
I served on the local government committee, which was a fascinating job. Art Elliott was the chairman of the committee. He was a longtime friend of George Romney. He was also a Mormon like George Romney. And because of all the work I had done in the municipal league, I was well suited for that committee.
Were you officially representing the municipal league or just the experience?
No, I was not. No, we didn't have. I think that would have been prohibited.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did the municipal league send anybody up to the meeting?
The municipal league followed our convention closely and issued a bulletin every month about what we were doing, and on certain issues said we were wrong, and on others said we were right.
What kind? Did you have a pretty good score?
I don't recall. No.
How about the townships? Did they have much influence in CONCON?
Yes, I think the townships had an influence. There were a number of us, including myself, who felt we could be better off if we didn't have townships. We were too fragmented. But we knew that if we eliminated townships, we never would get a yes vote on the new Constitution. So we didn't press that point. And there were other instances during CONCON, which I'm sure you will remember, where we thought of making some changes but didn't, because we would lose the vote.
You learned to be very practical.
We had to be practical if we were going to get a new Constitution.
Yeah.
And I think we were. I think both parties used a lot of common sense.
And how about in the committees? Was there pretty good relationship between both political parties and the individual members?
We really had 3 political parties. We had 2/3 of our delegates were Republican and 1/3 Democrat, but the Republican 2/3 was divided about equally in 2 between the Farm Bureau more conservative group led by D. Hale Brake and the more moderate Republicans led by George Romney.
Now, was D. Hale Brake, what was his background?
D. Hale Brake?
Yes.
D. Hale Brake's background was primarily a background of county government.
Yeah.
And he eventually, he was the leader of the Michigan County organization. and did it very effectively. And then he became state